In this tutorial, I'll show you how to generate frequency tables and percentages in SPSS. We'll also look at how to interpret the output. Before we generate the frequency tables, let's take a quick look at the dataset we'll be working with. We'll be using a simple health survey dataset on healthy lifestyle practices collected from 30 participants. Right now, we're in the variable view, where all the variables in the dataset have already been defined. The name column contains the short variable names that SPSS uses during analysis. These names should be short, without spaces, and easy to identify. The label column contains the full description of each variable. This makes the output easier to read because SPSS displays these labels instead of the shorter variable names. For example, instead of displaying age group, the output will display, "What is your age group?" Now let's look at the values column. The values column is where numerical codes are assigned to the different response options in a questionnaire. This process is known as coding. For example, the gender question has two possible responses, male and female. Instead of entering the full text every time, each response can be assigned a numerical code. Here you can see that 1 has been assigned to male and 2 has been assigned to female. The same approach has been used for the other variables in this dataset. For example, the age groups have been assigned numerical codes, while the Likert scale questions have been coded as 1 equals strongly disagree, 2 equals disagree, 3 equals neutral, 4 equals agree, and 5 equals strongly agree. Using numerical codes helps keep the dataset organized and makes it easier to work with during data analysis. Now that we've looked at the variable view, let's move to the data view to see how the responses are stored. Each row represents one respondent, while each column represents one variable from the questionnaire. For example, this first column contains the respondent IDs, followed by age group, gender, education level, employment status, marital status, and the remaining questionnaire items. Instead of displaying the full responses, you'll notice that the dataset contains numerical codes. These are the same codes we assigned earlier in the values column. For example, in the gender column, a value of 1 represents male, while 2 represents female. Likewise, the responses for the Likert scale questions have also been entered using their assigned numerical codes. With the data already prepared, we're now ready to generate the frequency tables and percentages. To do this, click on Analyze, then Descriptive Statistics, and then Frequencies. We'll begin with the socio-demographic variables. These variables describe the characteristics of the participants in the study. Once the variables have been selected, make sure the Display Frequency Tables option is checked. This ensures that the frequency distribution tables will be included in the output. Then click OK to generate the output. Now let's look at the output. As you can see, a separate frequency table has been generated for each variable we selected. Each table summarizes the responses by showing the frequency and percentage for each category. Let's use the first table, age group, as an example. The first column lists the different response categories or age groups. The frequency column shows the number of participants that fall into each age group. The percent column shows what percentage of the total participants each age group represents. The valid percent is interpreted the same way as the percent column when there are no missing responses. If there are missing responses in a dataset, the valid percent is calculated using only the valid responses. The cumulative percent is the running total of the valid percentages from top to bottom. For a basic frequency table, this column is usually not the main focus. Looking at this example, 9 participants were between 18 and 24 years, representing 30% of the total sample. 15 participants were between 25 and 34 years, representing 50% of the sample. 4 participants were between 35 and 44 years, 13.3%, while 2 participants were 45 years and above, 6.7%. The same approach can be used to interpret the remaining frequency tables by looking at the response categories, their frequencies, and their corresponding percentages. Now, let's look at the healthy lifestyle practice variables. We'll follow the same steps as before by clicking Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and then Frequencies. You'll notice that the socio-demographic variables are still in the Selected Variables box because they were used in the previous analysis. We'll first remove those variables, then select the Healthy Lifestyle Practice variables, and finally, click OK to generate the new frequency tables. These tables show the responses to the Healthy Lifestyle Practice statements. Just like before, each table displays the frequency and percentage for each response category. Let's use the first statement as an example. For the statement, I exercise regularly, 2 participants, 6.7%, strongly disagreed, 8, 26.7% disagreed, 1, 3.3% was neutral, 11, 36.7% agreed, and 8, 26.7% strongly agreed. Overall, more participants agreed than disagreed with the statement. The remaining tables can be interpreted in exactly the same way by looking at the frequency and percentage for each response category, and then identifying the overall pattern of responses. And that's it! You've successfully learned how to generate frequency tables and percentages in SPSS, as well as how to read and interpret the output. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.